Phoenix Lady here. Welcome to part 2 of the Pioneer Mountains Scenic Byway and more video log of my road trips around Montana. The first section of the Scenic Byway south between the East Pioneers and the West Pioneers rides along the outwash plain of well-rounded and sorted gravel deposited by braided streams from the melting glacial ice. Around the Sheep Creek area, the road enters the V-shaped canyon below the actual moraine for another 5 miles. Here, the cliffs to the west are a mix of vertical outcrops of igneous rocks and talus slopes. "5 miles can seem to take forever as we passed more talus slopes, trees, campgrounds, and crossed the rushing Wise River, but we finally reached the lake bed behind the moraine.
Might be it over there.
We're supposed to cross the east side of it, so we'll be on it right now.
You can tell there used to be a lake here because nothing says lake bed as loudly as a valley floor so flat the river can hardly tell which way is down. From here, we soon followed a set of switchbacks up to the relatively flat area that must have once been covered by the ice cap. The eastern pioneers poking up around the edges all show the ice-bitten crags of glacially carved mountains. We soon passed Crystal Park, just off the road. Here you can pick up all kinds of quartz crystals, especially clear, smoky, and amethyst. We decided there were way too many people with the same idea, on a weekday no less, so we moved on to the drainage of the south-flowing Grasshopper Creek. Across the way, not far from Elkhorn Hot Springs, the Maverick Ski Resort shows a lot of ski runs. There's apparently only one ski left around on the south side, and it's not visible in the video. We stopped briefly at the Grasshopper Overlook to enjoy the flowers and the view before heading down to Highway 278 between Jackson and Dillon. Far in the distance, as we headed into the valley, we got a glimpse of what may be the southern end of the Beaverhead Mountains, mostly ancient belt rocks. In the valley below the road, we see the buildings of the Tash Ranch. The byway joins Highway 278 between the Big Hole Pass to the west and Badger Pass to the east, over which we'll soon be headed. Headed east toward Badger Pass, we can see snow-capped eastern pioneers to the north. According to the Roadside Geology of Montana, 2nd edition, Baldy Mountain, which may or may not be visible in the background since I wasn't looking for it, is made up of glacially sculpted Proterozoic quartzite of the Missoula group. It's part of the Grasshopper Plate, a huge slab of rock that slid up and over much younger Paleozoic and Mesozoic rocks during the Sevier orogeny some 70 million years ago. The quartzite itself is over 1.4 billion years old, laid down as sand by braided streams draining off highlands of Archean-aged crystalline rocks to the south. The cross-bedding, formed by layers of migrating ripples, is beautifully preserved in the absence of land-based life at the time. Oh, look, a troll who got caught out in the sun. Just kidding. As we climb Badger Pass, to the north we can see snow on some of the East Pioneers. The rocks at the pass belong to the Pennsylvanian Quadrant Formation, a coastal dune field around 310 million years old. The trees grow on dirt trapped in the cracks of this formation caused by folding and thrust faulting during the Sevier orogeny. Beyond the pass, we can see the southern end of the Ruby Range, so named for the sometimes quite large red garnets that can be found in the area. Below the tree line, we cross the thrust fault onto the Cretaceous volcanic rocks on which the Quadrant Formation slid to its current position. These are mostly covered by the Renova Formation and outwash gravels from the ice cap present during the last ice age. From here, we can see the Blacktail Mountains. Just at the bottom of the trees, there runs the Blacktail Fault, which dips steeply to the left northeast. These mountains are less than 4.5 million years old, uplifted by the bulge of the Yellowstone hotspot to the south. This fault should be considered active, even if it hasn't produced an earthquake within historical time that we know of. Finally, as we pan from south to north, we can see the entire length of the Ruby Range, followed by the Tobacco Root Range beyond Twin Bridges and Sheridan.
Next year we'll be stopping someplace.
As we drop into the Beaverhead River Valley past the road to Argenta, a look south to the water gap through which the Beaverhead River flows shows the Dillon Volcanics, part of the Renova Formation and dating to at least the Miocene. They form what longtime residents, including the Shoshone, call the real Beaverhead Rock. The other one, north toward Twin Bridges, is called the Point of Rocks, even though it also looks like a beaver's head. No wonder poor Sacagawea, who hadn't seen either since childhood, got confused. On approach to the I-15 exit, we see more Dillon Volcanics with the Ruby Range rising across the valley.
Over there.
We'll stop here and pick up the story in part 3 since I have a cat that wants attention. Phoenix Lady, out.